journey's just begun. We're on our way. Pokemon expedition, rising high with no hesitation. Together we'll stand with courage in our hands. The future's ours today. Whoa, yeah, we're on our way.
After the battle against Misty, Malik, Sky, and Luther are on their way to Vermilion City for Luther's contest on the SSN. On their way, Sky decides to look up the coordinates of the SSN. She finds out they were misinformed. The SSN is going to arrive at Cinnabar Island instead. Malik and Sky are disappointed by this. Luther won't be able to compete in this contest. Luther isn't fazed though. He mentions to the group that his father is very wealthy and can send him over money for some plane tickets. Malik and Sky are shocked. This whole time they've been traveling, he hasn't mentioned this once. Luther shrugs, and he calls his dad. The phone rings, and when it picks up, it's the president of Silphco. Malik is confused who this is, while Sky is again shocked. She explains to Malik that this is the owner of Silphco. Silphco is the main source of technology in Kanto. They're the ones that build the Pokédexes and the Pokeballs. Malik finds this cool now. Luther talks to his father, and is a bit frightened to talk to him, since he did leave school without mentioning it to him. But surprisingly, Mr. Sylph is in a joyful tone. He greets Luther's friends. And meanwhile, on the call, Luther sees his old family pet Growlithe. Sky and Malik are confused. Why does Growlithe look like this? Luther explains that Growlithe and Sinnoh look a bit different. Luther greets Growlithe and then asks his father if they can borrow some money for plane tickets. Mr. Sylph is hesitant, but agrees on one condition. Mr. Sylph says he wants his son to take Growlithe along with him on his journey, as he's a bit rowdy and hard to manage since Luther's been gone. Luther agrees to these conditions, and Mr. Sylph transfers the Pokeball of Growlithe to Luther. Luther sends out Growlithe and hugs his longtime friend. Luther's father ends the call, and eventually, Luther gets the money in his bank account. So, they run off to the airport and buy plane tickets to Cinnabar Island. When boarding time came, the trio grabbed their bags and headed for the gate. The three boarded the plane, focused on reaching Cinnabar Island. Eventually, once the plane lands, Malik, Sky, and Luther breathe in the coastal air. Sky looks at her phone, and Malik scoffs. Why don't you just enjoy the view in front of you, instead of looking at your phone? Sky grunts and tells Malik that she will in a second. She tells Luther that she looked up the SSN online, and it departs in 2 days, so they have time to chill and explore. Malik mentions that Cinnabar Island has a gym leader, so he could get a whole bunch of training. Hearing this, Sky decides she's going to go take a little bit of a break at the hot springs, and Luther goes off on his own to practice for his contest. Malik sends out his Pokemon. Out of the Pokeballs comes Froppy, Vesca, Riot, and Gaia. As they're all sent out, they play around and have fun. But Sparky chirps, letting them know it's time to listen up. Malik thanks his partner, and explains to his team what's happening. Malik says they're going to train for his gym battle. Malik's Pokemon cheer when they hear this. Malik says that he believes they can win, but it'll take a lot of work. He asks if they're up to the challenge. Malik's Pokemon nod and they begin training. Meanwhile, Sky is spending time in the hot spring, and relaxes, when she spots a familiar face in Jet Oak. She invites Jet to join, and he agrees. Jet asks where Malik is. Sky says that he's preparing for his gym battle. Jet says that sounds like something Malik would do. Sky asks Jet if he would perchance know anything about Malik's hatred for Totodile. Jet shakes his head. He says he doesn't, though he's always wondered about it himself. Malik had always hated Totodile, even as a kid. The topic changes, and Sky asks if Jet's here to challenge the gym as well. Jet states he's already battled the gym leader and beat him, which makes his 5th gym badge. 5th badge, said Sky. She's shocked to hear how many badges he has. Meanwhile, Luther sends out Jigglypuff, Mr. Mime, and Growlithe to practice a contest routine. He tries to command them all at once, but it does not go in his favor. He feels saddened as his performance dreams crumble in front of him. Luther, defeated, decides to look up some contests online for inspiration when he sees a man and his Arcanine. His name is Tucker, and he's a Frontier Brain. But not only that, he won the Grand Festival. Luther is amazed at seeing how elegant an Arcanine can be. This gives Luther an idea. Back with Malik, his Pokemon split off into pairs, Gaia and Riot, and Vesca and Froppy, with Sparky on the sidelines acting as the team's coach. After the sparring, Malik had him and his team do intense exercises, jumping jacks, push-ups, and sprints. And after a long time, Malik and his Pokemon are tuckered out. Malik returns his Pokemon for a good rest, but Vesca stays out, wanting to train some more. Eventually, they hear the sound of a whip and yelping. Malik, Sparky, and Vesca follow the sound, and see a boy with a whip who's yelling at his Pokemon. It's a Shiny Eevee. This boy is yelling at Eevee for not being able to evolve. As we see 3 evolution stones right in front of the Silver Fox. He whips Eevee over and over. Malik sees this, and in a fit of rage, he tackles the boy. The boy gets up and asks what Malik's problem is. Malik responded, "You're hurting a Pokemon. What's wrong with you?" The boy, whose name is AJ, scoffed. He calls Eevee weak and worthless. It's the so-called evolution Pokemon, and it can't evolve no matter what he does. He needs Eevee to evolve also, because it's just not strong enough for him. Eevee lets out a tiny, exhausted chirp. Malik's fists clenched. He states that Pokemon evolve when they trust you, when they want to grow. AJ swung the whip against the ground again. Frustrated, he says Malik knows nothing about him and his Pokemon, and needs to back off. Malik looked AJ dead in the eyes, telling him he wants to get Eevee to evolve. He can't just beat him into submission. AJ grits his teeth. "Fine, you think you know my Pokemon better than me? Take it, I don't want it anymore." He kicks Eevee towards Malik. Malik is enraged, seeing a Pokemon trainer with no remorse, and he tackles AJ once more. Malik pins him to the ground and sends many punches towards his face. It's broken up when they're levitated into the air by Luther, as Sky and Jet run up behind him. Sky asks what Malik is doing. Malik explains what AJ was doing to Eevee. The group get enraged at this, and eventually, Eevee faints. AJ sees this and scoffs, calling it weak. He scummages through his pocket and takes out Eevee's Pokeball and destroys it. He says he'll see them around. Malik doesn't have time to care, as Eevee seems to be in critical condition. He sprints to the Pokemon Center to get Eevee healed. Malik arrives at the Pokemon Center, and Nurse Joy sees its condition. She asks what's wrong. Malik explains the situation, and Nurse Joy is shocked at this. She nods and takes Eevee in immediately. Just then, Sky, Luther, and Jet catch up. They ask if Eevee will be okay. Malik says he's unsure. Jet tries to comfort Malik, and for once, Malik isn't annoyed at Jet for this. He may not like Jet, but he's glad he has people around that also care for Eevee's health. Nurse Joy comes out and asks if Malik can come with her. Malik does so, with Sparky and Vesca following behind. They arrive at the location to see Eevee in a comatose state. Nurse Joy says that due to all of the beatings it's gotten, Eevee slipped into a coma. Malik is saddened by this. He can't believe this happened. He goes into the room and sits on a chair next to the bed. He tells Eevee that they're there for it the whole night, although Malik's unsure if Eevee can even hear him, but that doesn't matter. Hours pass and Malik, Vesca, and Sparky fall asleep in the chair. In Eevee's mind, he walks in a black void, memories swirling around in its head of everything its trainer had done to him. All of the attacks, all of the evolution stones, none of it worked. He halts to a stop and cries to itself. It wipes the tears out of its eyes, and when they open, it sees Malik. It sees how Malik actually cared for him. He took down EJ and protected him. Eevee smiles, knowing that someone finally cares. Its eyes flutter open, and he sees Malik, Sparky, and Vesca sleeping by the bed. Eevee's eyes light up, and he gets very excited. Malik is woken up by a lick. It's Eevee. He's okay and very energetic. He's hopping all over the place. Malik is ecstatic and hugs Eevee, glad he's okay. Nurse Joy walks in and is shocked to see Eevee so energetic and healthy. She asks if she can observe Eevee for a little bit longer to see what this could be. Malik nods and says he'll be back soon. Malik, Sparky, and Vesca leave the room and find Sky, Luther, and Jet in the lobby. They ask if Eevee's okay. Malik says he is, and made a fast recovery. Nurse Joy is doing another checkup, and then it should be good to go. Malik looks to Jet. He says that he was training earlier, but since he's challenging Blaine tomorrow, a real battle would be perfect. Jet agrees, and they go to the beach for their battle. Beedrill and Mankey take their positions on Malik's side, while Jet's Rattata and Scyther ready themselves on the opposite side. Beedrill shoots forward immediately as it unleashes Twin Needle. Scyther reacts with Double Team, scattering copies across the field. Beedrill pierces through two illusions before the real Scyther darts in from above with Fury Cutter, slicing across Beedrill's side. On the ground, Mankey rushes Rattata with Karate Chop, striking downward. Rattata evades with Quick Attack, slamming into Mankey's ribs and forcing it back. Mankey recovers and counters with Low Kick, sweeping Rattata's front legs and knocking it onto its side. Above them, Beedrill dives in with Poison Jab. Scyther crosses its blade and counters with Air Slash, sending a wave of air that clips one of Beedrill's wings. Beedrill counters with Twin Needle again, and meets Scyther head-on. Two bugs collide mid-air, and both Pokemon fall to the ground at the same time, fainting. The outcome now rests on Mankey versus Rattata. Rattata darts forward using Quick Attack again, weaving between Mankey's punches. Mankey lands a cross chop, sending Rattata sliding back. As Rattata tries to get up, it suddenly glows, and evolves into Raticate. Raticate wastes no time, lunging with Hyper Fang. Mankey braces and strikes back with Brick Break, landing a clean hit on Raticate's shoulder. Raticate skids, then charges with Crunch, jaws locking onto Mankey's arm and throwing it down. Mankey struggles to stand, and attempts one final low kick, but Raticate leaps clear and slams down with decisive Super Fang, knocking Mankey flat on the ground. Raticate stands victorious, securing the win for Jet. Malik is disappointed, but that changes when he sees Nurse Joy and Eevee running up to them. Malik is happy to see them, as Eevee runs up to Malik and takes him down to the ground. Nurse Joy mentions that it seems to be a miracle how he recovered so fast. He says that she's glad Eevee has a trainer like him. Malik tells her that he's actually not his trainer. Nurse Joy is surprised, since Eevee seems so attached to him. Malik realizes that, and he checks his pocket, but says he's out of Pokeballs. Malik gets up and is disappointed, but Jet goes up to Malik and gives him a Pokeball. It's a special one, a Moon Ball. Malik reluctantly thanks Jet as he kneels down. He holds the Pokeball out to Eevee. He asks if it would want to join him on his expedition through Kanto. Eevee nods and goes inside the Pokeball. It shakes once, twice, and clicks shut. Malik celebrates his capture, and he jumps in the air for joy. He then yawns and decides that it's maybe time they get some sleep. So they ask Nurse Joy if they can stay at the Pokemon Center for the night. Nurse Joy nods and our heroes head to the room in the Pokemon Center and rest before their eventful day tomorrow.